Hola Sombrero Time teachers. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about the first week in Unit 6. Can you believe we're here already? We're going to be going into the rooms of the house. So super important, those of you who've been on ski week, vacation, furlough days, whatever they are, you want to take a look at if you've finished the first week of just knowing about the house. That's super foundational. So hopefully you've already done the first week of the house. Second reminder, then you should be able to do this trimester's student face sheet, which needs to go out to the students. So I emailed those out to you about 2 weeks ago. Let me know if you don't have those. But we want to give the parents some feedback on how their kids are doing. So now let's get into the curriculum. Spanish 2, this is a very, very packed, busy week. So I want to talk to you really specifically. The objectives are that they're learning hacer as the verb. So every day you're going to be talking about it. ¿Qué hago en la cocina? ¿Qué hago en el baño? What do we do in the different rooms of the house? Second thing is that the kids know the new vocabulary of how to call each room of the house, how to name them. Third thing, we're also working on pronunciation through the poem. And then we'll be doing a reading. No es la ardilla. So it's a big, packed, heavy week, but super fun as well. All right. Now, I want to reiterate something that we talked about in the staff meeting. 3 things I really want you guys to be focusing on. First, confidence. Confidence that you expect kids to be able to come and articulate with big, wide open mouths and loud voices. We want to build our kids up so that they become confident speakers. If they're not confident in their classroom, there's no way they're confident out in the real world trying to mobilize their language. So really praise them specifically. Bien hecho. ¿Qué puedes decir? Esta palabra difícil. Tell them something specific. Have the class applaud for them. We really want to give them a sense that they're mobilizing language well. Second thing, work on articulation. This is going to help that student be able to project the language with confidence. Really get them continue over and over and over again to train their mouth to open up wide and project. Now, a lot of times you can do this by getting quiet and over enunciating the words. All right? So when you're doing the poem, ¿Qué hacemos en la casa? You really want to be saying it loud, saying it soft, over enunciating it. You say a couple words, they say a couple words. Have fun with this. Have them memorize it. Have them put the motions to it so that they really have it clear. And then every once in a while, have one of your kids present it to the class. Applaud for them. Really help them enunciate the words well. The last thing is vocabulary development. So really want you to focus on building confidence, articulating words well, and building a vocabulary. If we dial those 3 things in, we will have a fabulous program. So this is what I'm counting for you guys on. All right, so we're working on the verb hacer for Spanish 2, week 1 of Unit 6. Still do your calendar questions. This is your great formative assessment that you're doing on a daily basis. Can your kids respond to those questions? Sometimes do them whole group. Sometimes do them individually. You always want to be going back and forth so we keep everybody engaged throughout the lesson. Pronunciation, the poem that I already went over. Now, the activities is to draw the rooms of the house, to play charades, then draw the front of the house on Friday. It's kind of a lot of vocabulary development. In the workbook on page 110 and 109, one of them has a place where you can write a sentence and then draw a picture, and the other one just has a place where you can draw the picture. Now, I'm not exactly sure why I put both of them in there, but what you can do with this is on one side, you can have them describe it, and on the other side, you can have them draw it. On Friday, have them put another piece of paper, just blank computer paper, white paper, and have them draw the front of the house, which will review last week's content, or 2 weeks ago, week 3 of Unit 5, where we talked about the parts of the house. Go ahead and tear this out and send it home on Thursday or Friday, whatever your last day of the week is, so that the parents can see what we're working on. So this will be a great activity for them to draw, connect to the content of the rooms of the house, and then write about it for your Spanish 2 kids, and then send it, put the front on it, las puertas, las ventanas, unas escaleras, el techo, la chimenea, and then send it home so that they can have it to study for their assessment time. Don't make a big deal about assessments. We really don't want the kids to be stressed about this. As Joan and I talked about at the staff meeting, those are really just check-in times for us to see, are we being effective? Are the kids learning? That's summative evaluations or summative assessments, okay? So don't worry about building it up to be this big test time. No, this is just more independent work to get a sense of whether or not they're doing well. You always want to give yourself the opportunity and time to go back and take a look and give them feedback on what they're doing, and then help them correct so that it's still part of the learning process. Now, one of the things I want to say is you're going to go through the story, which you guys have been doing a really good job on. If you have version 1 of the Spanish 2 workbook, you'll want to see somehow some random direction was put into the second sentence of that story. So you want to make sure that you cross that out for the kids, because it doesn't make any sense. It's like in femenina. You got to cross that out. All right, so go ahead, be reading that, do round robin reading, get all your kids reading and having, this is also great pronunciation, comprehension activity. Read these to your kids, practice them orally, and then at this point, have them try to fill in by themselves. If they have to go back to the story, that's fine. But really front load this. We use that word in some of the instructions. You want to front load this activity so they have the best chance possible of actually being able to fill these in independently without looking back. So this is a great way also to develop a sense that they understand the story, that they can fill in details about the story. Don't get confused here. It says su perro viejo. This is really for no es la ardilla. So don't get confused here. The title is wrong. We're working on our typos, guys. I apologize. But this is still drawing the pictures, writing the 5 summary statements, and then moving on to what happens next. Now, this is a great time if you still have a group that needs support and needs you to develop it together. Do that. If you have kids that can be independent, give them some ideas that you brainstorm whole group and then let them run with it. But we want to keep this in Spanish. One of the things that I don't want you to become is a walking dictionary, a walking translation for your kids. They need to use what they have to say what they can. Escribes lo que puedes con lo que tienes. Write what you can with what you have. Mobilize. And this is real life. We want to push them back into a place that can be uncomfortable because they're struggling, but that's a great place for kids to sit and work out using what they have with what they know. This is real life. This is if they go somewhere and they're with mom and dad who don't speak Spanish and they're the translator, they're going to have to use what they have to say what they can. So we want to give them that good practice inside. I guarantee you that when you tell a child a translation for some word that they want to use, they won't ever remember that word in Spanish. This is not how you develop vocabulary. Developing vocabulary is building understanding, how you use it, using what you have, and learning the language in the language. So stay in the language. No English. No English. Okay. So I talked about the story. Day 1, you're going to draw the house. You can use the workbook sheets Spanish 1 on page 45, you're going to be using this worksheet. Second day, you can go through writing examples and sentences about each room of the house, which you have a vocabulary sheet to do that with. Day 3, you're going to play charades. So you're going to act out things that you would be doing, and then they will be guessing which room in the house you're in. That's a super fun day. And then day 4, you're going to draw the front of the house and send it home. Give the kids some stuff to take home this week so the parents know what we're doing and they can practice at home. ¿Dónde estás? Estoy en la sala. Estoy en la cocina. Those are great ways to help the parents help the children use their Spanish. Okay, if you have any questions, give me a call. Have a great week, ladies. Welcome back from your vacation, and welcome Norca and Mari Carmen to our team. Have a great week, you guys. Adios.